Dear friends, right now I am at Radiance office, and with me is the editor of Radiance, Ejaz Ahmed Aslam Sahab. You know it very well that Radiance is a magazine which largely focuses on the issue of the Muslims minority and the country. And editor-in-chief Aslam Sahab has been editing this newspaper, this magazine for a long time. Today what we are going to do is to learn about the magazine also and the journey of the editor Aslam Sahab also. One interesting thing which I would like to share, that Ejaz Aslam Sahab was born in Bangalore, but he spent his childhood in Bihar near Muzaffarpur, and the place is called Motipur. I also come from Champaran district, which is very close to Muzaffarpur, and during my journalistic activities and journalistic career, I came to know Aslam Sahab, and he has been very kind to me. He has always helped me, and he has always inspired me to read more and do something good for the humanity. Sir, I thank you very much for sparing time and agreeing to share your view.
Thank you for having me here and arranging this interview with me. Thank you.
Sir, many people may not be knowing your early childhood. Please tell me about your family, where you were born, and how did you manage to get associated with Jamaat-e-Islami and the Radiance. We would like to know more about your early life, sir.
I was born in Bangalore, which is now the fourth largest city, and my forefathers, they belong to Karnataka. And I spent some 4 years in Chennai, where my father was employed. Then my father got a good job in Bihar, in Muzaffarpur. Therefore, I also migrated to Bihar along with my parents. In all, I spent 15 years in Bihar. And I very lovingly remember Bihar, and whenever some person asks me about my education, I tell them that I am indebted to Bihar for my Shiksha and Diksha. I did my MA from LS College of Bihar University, which is a constituent college of Bihar. And after that, because unfortunately, Bihar, in spite of all its good points, the opportunities for jobs and development and industries are very limited there. Therefore, I returned to Tamil Nadu. I settled there, and gradually my other brothers, they also came back there. My father also returned there. When I was in Muzaffarpur at that time, I was a voracious reader, and whichever book came in my way, I would read that. Then I came with one book by Sayyid Abul Ala Maududi, who is the founder of Jamaat-e-Islami. That was the reality of ibadat. That's the reality of worship. Then I came across a very scintillating, very innovative type of idea that ibadat doesn't mean only just praying to God or bowing our head before Him. Ibadat means we are the abd, we are the servants of God and slaves of God, and God has sent us on this earth with a purpose. Therefore, ibadat is a very comprehensive concept. Our whole life should be in accordance with the commandments of God and instructions of God. That is then. Therefore, I got closer and closer to Jamaat-e-Islami, and after completing my education, when I went back to Chennai, there I just studied more books, and in this way I became connected with Jamaat-e-Islami.
Sir, when did you decide to become a journalist?
No, there is nothing like this that I decided to become a journalist. It's an accident. There are so many accidents of our life in that way. I just wanted to serve humanity, present the message of God before the people, and to improve the conditions of India my own Muslim community and the larger Indian community, which is composed of Hindus, Christians, and so many other people. Therefore, I got closer to Jamaat Islami, and I have been here in Delhi for last 35 years, and last some 20 or 25 years I have been serving Radiance as its editor. In this way, there was no plan for me to become a journalist. Just practically I have become a journalist, that's all.
So who inspired you to become a journalist, sir? Any major person or maybe any major writings?
Nothing special like that. Jamaat Islami is behind this magazine, Radiance Viewsweekly. It is being published for last about 65 years, and its main objective is to present the point of view of Islam and Muslims, to strengthen the Muslim community, at the same time how we should live in this greater and larger society of India. With now, at the time of independence, our population was just 35 crore, but now we are 145 crore, the largest country with the largest concentration of human beings. Therefore, I was asked to serve in that journal, Radiance Viewsweekly. That is how, in a small way, I'm making a contribution to the journalistic efforts.
Sir, what was the time when you got associated with the Radiance?
Last some 20 or 25 years, almost.
So, in which capacity, sir, you joined Radiance as a correspondent?
First as an editor.
Okay.
Then afterwards, I was elevated to editor-in-chief. Editor-in-chief means I had to look after it, and always I write the editorial, but I will have a control upon the writings and other people in just getting things written. We have one committee, every week we meet and we just review the things which are prevailing in the country and in the world. Then we decide we should write about which subjects.
Sir, there are many young people who want to become a journalist, and they see you as the role model. So would you like to give them some lessons, some suggestions, some advice how to be a good journalist?
Journalism requires a life full of sacrifices. Nowadays, journalism also has become a sort of employment or profession. But a journalist is a person who looks after the country, who has certain views, and he wants to change the present into better future. Therefore, it is not only a profession, it's labor of love, and for that we require dedication and a purpose of life. And for example, there are so many ills. For example, there are many conflicts in the society. For example, in India we are coming across Hindutva, communalism, narrow-mindedness, and wrong type of regionalism. So many things are there. Hate is being promoted. And a good journalist, he must have his fingers on the knobs of people, and he should try to guide them.
Sir, Muslims community are facing two challenges. The first is that the community does not have a very strong newspaper which could effectively counter the propaganda spread by the mainstream media against the Muslims community. And the second problem is that mainstream media is trying to portray Muslims community negatively. So how could your newspaper, your magazine counter those things? Has it been effective, or there is a need to do much more than that?
India is a very big country with many cultures, many languages. At least we have about more than 20 recognized languages, regional languages. Different regions are there. In a way, we can say that India is a country of not only thousands of ethnicities, but a nation of many nations. And Muslims also, for example, according to the latest census, Muslims are about 14.5%. and they speak different languages. For example, if you go to Kerala, you will find that 99% Muslims have Malayalam as their language, and 70% Muslims in Tamil Nadu have their language as Tamil. Go to Bengal, very big state, and you will find that most of the people, they're Muslims also. Bengali is their mother tongue and their educational language also. In this way, there are diverse problems, but Muslims, they believe in the basic tenets that God is one, humanity is one, and God has guided all human beings through different ages. Therefore, Muslims, they must live up to the expectations of Islam and their character, their way of life, and their approach to different problems, whether it is economic problems or social problems or political problems, that should be in the light of Islam. And of course, difficulties are there, but Muslims are trying to come out of this difficult condition.
No, but my question is
Ji.
that why the community has not been able to put up its own strong media which can counter the propaganda of the mainstream media. Where is the problem, sir?
No, just see, for example, Hindus, they are about 80% of the population. Muslims are just less than 15% of the population. Therefore, for example, Congress had been there. Now another Hindutva force, RSS, BJP, it came into existence, and they have got money, they have got the government supports, they have got the encouragement. Therefore, it is difficult for Muslims. Therefore, they have to depend on the already existing media. But in spite of that, in different places, for example, in South Indian states, you will find that the economic, social and educational condition of Muslims is good there. As far as Jamaat-e-Islami is concerned, Jamaat-e-Islami views these things in very broad outlook. For example, we have a message, and that message is not confined only to the Muslims. That message is the need of the whole country. Therefore, through Radiance and other, Jamaat-e-Islami is supporting about 20 or 25 magazines. One daily also is there in Malayalam language, Media One, Madhyamam One. Like that, we are trying to come up.
Sir, I know Jamaat-e-Islami, it is able to publish magazines in multiple languages.
Yes.
I have seen those magazines.
Yes.
But why other Muslim organizations which have got resources, they are not so serious about putting forth their own point of view or defending the community?
No, it is not only Jamaat-e-Islami which is active in this field. Other people also are there.
No, I don't want to name any organization, but I feel that the way this Jamaat-e-Islami is active, other organization is not active. So you feel sorry, you feel sad?
Of course, it's a matter of being sorry and being concerned. But with the given resources, with the difficult conditions and with the rise of Hindutva, difficulties are there and they are bound to be there. But they are trying their best. Jamaat-e-Islami is a very ethical type of and very organized organization. Its membership or sweep may be limited, but it knows what we should do, how we should try to change the Muslim community, how we should enthuse them, how we should encourage them. Therefore, Jamaat-e-Islami has got the greatest number of newspapers, magazines in different languages. But other people, for example, some people, they have got a very limited concept of Islam or religion. It is not like that. Religion, especially Islam, is such a religion which believes in the God, which believes in universe, which believes in oneness of humanity. Therefore, Jamaat-e-Islami is more active and its contribution also is greater.
Sir, you are the editor of the Radiance magazine, which is still being printed. Now, many journalists and publishers and editors, they complain that the printing cost has gone up and it is very difficult to sell newspaper and earn some revenue. Then, do you also feel such constraint when you print Radiance?
Of course, because now certain changes are taking place. For example, people, they are more interested in just seeing something the depth is going away, shallowness is coming, and people are less interested in written word. They just want to listen or see the videos, and therefore difficulties are there. For that, we are also changing. For example, some 2 years back, we started RadianceNews.com, and perhaps that time may come. Books will never lose their importance, and printed things also would have great importance. But people are, because it is the way of the world, they are getting more interested in electronic media. We are also trying to enter and use that.
Sir, have you ever felt sad that the members of at least Muslims community who are well off, they are not buying newspapers, they are not supporting the media organizations being run by the community, and they will be very happy to spend money elsewhere?
Of course it is there, and we criticize it, and we tell the people, give up this biryani, give this such things, and you must take the case. For example, go to the last census, graduates. Jains are a very small community with 0.4% population, but they have 26% graduates among them. Then comes the number of Sikh community. They are less than 2%, but the graduates among them, its percentage is 8%. Christians also, but because of the Christian missionaries and the Christian brothers who help them, 9% graduates. And Hindus are the largest and greatest community of this country. They are about 80% Hindus, but graduates among them are about 6%. Muslims are lagging behind all these communities. According to latest census of 2011, among Muslims, the percentage of graduates is just 2.76. Even half of the. In this way, backlog is there, and it will. And for example, you just see the policy of the present government. For example, some 2 years back, for the development of minorities, they had set it some 3,000 crore, but only about 10 or 15,000 crore or 50,000 crore was spent on them. They are discouraging Muslims, and they have stopped the scholarship to the Muslim school-going students, and in this way, a sort of enmity has been developed by the present dispensation, because other Muslims are feeling greater difficulties, and this happens that most of the established people, they are not so much interested in uplifting their poorer brothers. And some Urdu poet has said that Tere Amir Mal Mast, Tere Fakir Hal Mast. Anyway, we are doing our best.
Sir, you are the editor, and you have been seeing how the government has come and gone. Opposition parties have criticized the ruling party for pressurizing the media to write stories or to express opinion in accordance with the line of the government. Do you also feel such pressure that earlier you were more free and now you feel constrained as an editor or as a journalist?
Godi media or the media which is subservient to the present government, that's a fact, a very open fact. Everybody knows that. And the press freedom, freedom of expression, it is very much restricted in India. That's a fact. But we do not have power to change that.
So is it more restricted in last 10 years?
Of course, no doubt about it.
So you feel pressure, sir?
Yes,
as an editor?
Of course.
What to publish and what not to publish?
No. In that respect, we can publish, but constraints are there, and constraints have been increased by the present regime. And for example, the present government has failed almost in all sectors, in management, in freedom of expression, in development, in supporting the suppressed sections. But they have one thing, that is make everything Hindu-Muslim.
Communalize everything.
Communalize everything. And through that they very easily, it has become a very important and successful mantra to make everything Hindu-Muslim. Muslims are the Deshdrohi, Muslims are the not the well-wishers of India, such. It is very unfortunate, it's bad for the country. It will have very bad repercussions in near future, but it is there.
So as a journalist, you feel sad to see the present situation?
Of course, everything which is negative, which is undemocratic, every person would feel sad.
Sir, democracy can only survive when free media is there. And free media also needs the media run by the marginalized community, the Dalits, the Adivasi, Muslims and other minority groups. So it is the responsibility of the government that the smaller media should also be given some help, because the private players will not come to invest much. So some critics have said that the current regime is least interested in supporting a small media. Is it true, sir?
It's a fact. Everybody can see it and feel it, that after the coming to power of these Hindutva parties, India has gone through a sea change. And communalism, capitalism and such, that has increased. All people are suffering. But Muslims, being a smaller and weaker community, they are suffering more. Likewise, Dalit also are suffering more. And because of that, the newspapers, they also follow the government's line. And they also indulge in communalism, in spreading wrong information. It is happening.
Sir, some critics of Radiance argue that it is too much focusing on Muslims issue and it is giving less space to other marginalized community. How far is this allegation correct, sir?
Just see, Radiance has been being published so that on the one hand we may present the Islamic view of life. Another thing is that we are lagging. Just I told you that among all the religious communities, if you see the literacy or graduation level, Muslims are behind every community. Therefore, it's quite natural that we want that community should come up. It should have confidence, regain its confidence, and it should not be forced to get things from them. It should be able to give things to other people. Therefore,
sir, Radiance has been able to publish its issues for 65 years.
yes.
So I was there in one functions which was held in India International Center, sir.
1.5 years back.
Yes.
Yes.
1.5 year back. So when you see the old copies of the Radiance and now the way things are being printed, do you see any change in the approach of the Radiance, or is it the same, sir?
No, just see, the basic facts of life never change. And we are, for this they call us fundamentalists. I don't interpret fundamentalism as narrow-mindedness. Fundamentalism means there are certain fundamentals of life, society, universe. In that sense, we give importance to fundamental things. Belief in God, belief in oneness of humanity, belief in improving the conditions, not getting frustrated. These are fundamental things. And we stress those things.
No, my question is that has there been any shift as far as the approach of Radiance is concerned? As an editor, I think you are in a better position to tell if there is any change.
No, just see, if certain things emerge, we have to react to that in a constructive way. That's natural. For example, the conditions have become very bad nowadays, isn't it? But our approach is always fundamental, constructive, and we do not want that there should be any bad blood among different communities. That is the basic thing, a fundamental thing which we follow.
Sir, India is the largest democracy.
Yes.
But when it comes to the functioning of the mainstream media, we find that our media is very much partisan. So why such democratic current is not seen in the news room, sir?
No, just see, unfortunately, everybody speaks about democracy. Take the case of United States of America. The largest population, 35 crore they have got now. And they have got much money, clout and everything. Is it? In spite of that, you will find how Mr. Trump is working there and how he worked some 4 years back in his first term, isn't it? Therefore, unfortunately, democracy, real democracy and perfect democracy is something which is just theoretical. And India is far, far behind other countries. Majoritarianism, communalism, and just see, for example, Pradhan Mantri said that Revdi, that is freebies, but he is himself doing that, isn't it? An unfortunate thing is that common people, they are not people who will give importance to concepts. They just want some support, some economic support, and they lurch towards such intellectuals like you, like the people who are come out of institutions like JNU. There are very few common people. It is very difficult for them to make two ends meet. Therefore, they follow such people. Good things, it is on the basis of good and fundamental things that the society prospers. But it is a basic weakness among people that they don't give much importance to the basic things because their economic conditions are very bad, because their educational standard is not good, because they do not have a correct sense of what is right, what is wrong. Therefore, it is inbuilt of our society.
Sir, do you see that the influence of money in media is going against the spirit of democracy, sir?
Of course, money is being, for example, what is happening in our elections? Money is being used. And the party which comes to power, it gets the greatest quantity of money. Take the case of those, what was that, which was brought by BJP, electoral bonds. Who was benefited out of that? Any party which is in power, it may be BJP or Congress or whatever party, but they corner more money and they use money for purchasing the votes. It's unfortunate, but it is there, it's a fact.
Sir, social composition of Indian journalist is also very important thing. We find that the upper castes are always, in most cases, they are dominating the newsroom. In this country, you could find a Dalit or an Adivasi to become the president of this country, but you will not find any Adivasi or Dalit editing any English newspaper or English news channel. And also the Muslims are also excluded from the media also. So would you like to say something on the social composition of the media?
It is so because we have a backlog. For example, poor people or the so-called Dalits, they have been kept from a distance of the higher Hindu society. This backlog has been there for thousands of years. But after independence, we promulgated a very constructive constitution which speaks about social responsibility, which speaks about justice, economic, social and political justice, which in the preamble itself stresses that there is we want to promote liberty, equality and fraternity, but they are only good concepts. And the father of our present Indian constitution, Baba Sahib Ambedkar, also had said that however great the concepts of the constitution may be, but if they are not planted, not
Implemented.
implemented, then that's only a piece of paper. Therefore, this is responsibility of conscientious people, educated people, people who are above their own problems and they are unselfish people, you know, to present the good concepts and work for that.
So do you also ensure that the members from the marginalized community, both from the Hindus or Muslims, should be given priority, should be given preferences in giving them jobs and responsibility in the media houses or media organization run by Jamaat Islami, sir?
Of course, because otherwise the poor people, they will always remain poor. Government should do this, political parties also should give importance to this, and Jamaat Islami also is trying to uplift the people.
But the critics argue that the lower caste people, the Pasmanda people, the Muslims women, they are not given
As
proportional
far as
representation.
Muslims are concerned, whole Muslim community is Pasmanda. It is not Pasmanda but Pasmanda. That is backward.
Yes.
You know, we have been suppressed in such a way that the whole community has become Pasmanda. And all those people who have got money, power or pelf, you know, they are acting as if they are just like capitalists they are acting. They are not concerned. I just quoted.
But sir,
Tere Amir Mal Mast, Tere Fakhir Hal Mast.
Sir, I agree that Muslim has become as a community, a Pasmanda community, backward community. But there may be a section, a majority of the section who is more Pasmanda than the Pasmanda. So they should be given preferences, sir?
At least one thing is there in the Muslim community. We do not have any
discriminatory practices.
No, practices are there. For example, poor people, they would be always at the in a bad position. Such things are there. At least theoretically, from the Islamic point of view, there is nothing like that. And Muslims should build on this, that we are all human beings and everybody should get uplifted. And those who are poorer and suppressed, they should be given greater chances.
Sir, you have seen South also, you have seen North also, you are very much familiar with the experiences of both the regions. Why Muslims community is more vibrant in South, they have their vibrant media organization, while the Muslims in North, they are numerically more, but they are not so strong, sir. You have some observations, sir.
Yes, because I have been, my family, my larger family is living in Karnataka, Tamil Nadu and such areas. I am well versed, and because I am a worker of Jamaat Islami, I know what is the condition of Muslims everywhere. Unfortunately, the South Indian Hindus, they are broad-minded. They are more civilized, they are more educated, and they do not, some discrimination would be there in every community, even in Muslim community, but they are broad-minded. And here, because of this Hindutva forces especially, and because of the continuing system of high class and low class people, it has become a part of society here, that they think that he is a Harijan, he is a Dalit and he is a Muslim, like that.
So, sir, Muslims community have got challenges from the both sides. There is external challenge that we know that government is discriminating, the political party which is in power has some anti-Muslim biases in their policies making. These facts are very much clear.
Yes.
But when it comes to the internal problem, as a journalist, as an intellectual, as a leader of the community, would you like to give some suggestions to Muslims community that how should they reform themselves? What should they do themselves to improve their condition?
Muslims, they should go back to their roots. They should go back to Quran and Hadith and the teachings of Prophet Muhammad and the contribution of Muslims to this country. For example, Islam came here when Islam was being promoted in Makkah and Medina, isn't it? And here, most of the people who became Muslims here from India, they are downtrodden people, isn't it? And Islam did not discriminate. At least you will find that in mosques or in other institutions, we will never say that he is a high class Muslim or so small class Muslim. We do not have that. But this should be inculcated in our mentality, and we should follow it in every aspect of life.
Sir, the last question.
Yes.
As a journalist, how we should work to bring Muslims and Hindus together to remove this atmosphere of, what should I say, hate, and to work for social justice and betterment of the society and the community? The final and concluding
In
words.
this respect, I will refer to some verses of the Holy Quran which say that good things and bad things are not equal to each other. Therefore, if there are bad things, you can just fight with these bad things with goodness, with greater goodness. Then the person who is your enemy, he will become your friend, and God recommends this. Therefore, we should always hold fast to the basic humanistic Islamic principles and promote it. And if there are some sentimental people, if there are some people who are communal, we should not retort it with communalism, with humanity. And hate should be fought with love. That is the mantra, inshallah.
Friends, we were just talking with Ejaz Ahmed Aslam Sahab, who is the editor-in-chief of Radiance Viewsweekly. The magazine has been printed for more than 65 years, and we are just having this discussion at Radiance office in Jamaat's headquarters in New Delhi. Please share your view also. What do you think about these larger issues? Sir, you have talked to us. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. It is very kind of you, Dr. Abhay Kumar. You are a person who is free from fear, who always speaks good, and I am very happy to give this interview to you. Thank you very much.
Sir. Thank you.